For decades, the construction industry has kind of been seen as one of the last holdouts against the whole digital wave. But something has definitely changed. So let's dig into the brand new NBS Digital Construction Report for 2025 and find out how this sector isn't just playing catch-up anymore. It's right in the middle of a full-blown digital awakening. Okay, so let's jump right in by tackling a stereotype that's been around for a long, long time. For years, if you said construction, you'd probably also think digital laggard. And honestly, if you'd asked the professionals themselves just a couple of years back, most of them would have agreed with you. But the latest data is showing a shift in thinking that is, well, nothing short of dramatic. Just take a look at this. Back in 2023, almost half the people in the industry felt like they were behind the curve. Fast forward to today, that perception has completely flipped on its head. Now, a clear majority believes the industry is no longer lagging. And listen, this isn't just some minor statistical blip. It's a massive change in mindset. It's a huge boost in digital confidence. So, what's actually fueling this newfound confidence? Let's pop the hood and open up the digital toolkit to see which technologies are really powering this revolution on the ground. At the very core of all this is something called Building Information Modeling, or BIM. Now, it's not a new kid on the block, but its role has really matured. With over 72% adoption, it's gone from being a niche 3D modeling tool to being the stable, essential foundation of digital construction. It's the bedrock that everything else is being built on. And if BIM is the foundation, then you can think of the cloud as the central operating system for everything. I mean, with over 86% of professionals now on board, cloud computing is pretty much as fundamental as email. It's the magic that makes seamless, real-time collaboration possible from anywhere, connecting every single part of a project. But wow, the real headline grabber here is artificial intelligence. What's absolutely fascinating on this slide is just the sheer speed of the change. In 2020, AI was this fringe idea, with only 9% using it. By 2023, there was still a lot of skepticism. But look at 2025. Usage has exploded to over 42%, and the number of people with no plans to use it, it's basically vanished. This is a technology hitting the mainstream at absolute lightning speed. So when we peek inside the toolkit, it's no surprise that ChatGPT is the clear leader. But it's not a one-horse race. We're seeing a lot of people using tools like Microsoft Copilot and Google Gemini too. And here's something that's actually really important. Over a fifth of users are on their own company-specific platforms. That's a huge sign that firms are moving past off-the-shelf stuff and are now building custom AI solutions just for their own needs. All this new tech is having a profound impact. And, maybe nowhere is that more important than when it comes to tackling our big environmental challenges. This is where the digital toolkit gets really, really powerful. In just 2 years, the use of tech to figure out a project's energy and water demand has skyrocketed by over 26 points. Something that used to be a very specialized niche task is now becoming standard practice for nearly 2/3 of firms. That's incredible. And we see the exact same story with embodied carbon. That's all the greenhouse gas emissions from making, moving, and installing building materials. The use of digital tools to measure it has surged by over 20 points. This shows a massive shift from sustainability being some vague goal to it becoming a data-driven, measurable part of the whole process. I mean, you can't manage what you don't measure, right? Well, now they're measuring everything. But all this rapid transformation, it's not just about technology. It's about people. And when we look at the human side of this shift, the data shows us something, well, it's a fascinating paradox. So, on one hand, you've got this amazing newfound confidence that we talked about. But on the other hand, personal anxiety about keeping up has just skyrocketed. More people are worried about being left behind than ever before. It creates this real tension. The industry as a whole is succeeding, but individual people are feeling the pressure to keep pace. So how are professionals navigating this anxiety, especially around AI? I think this quote from an architectural technologist just sums it up perfectly. They see AI as a powerful tool to make them more efficient, not as a replacement for those irreplaceable human skills, like collaboration, judgment, and just talking to clients. And here is the absolute crucial part. Look at how the early adopters are using it. This BIM specialist isn't using AI to do their job for them. Nope. They're using it to automate all the boring, tedious, repetitive stuff. And that frees them up to focus on the high-value tasks that need a uniquely human brain. It's the perfect example of augmenting people, not replacing them. Okay, so it's pretty obvious we're in a completely new era. So the question becomes, What's next? What does the road ahead even look like for digital construction? Well, when you ask professionals to look 5 years into the future, they put BIM and AI right at the top of the list. And that just perfectly captures this moment in time, doesn't it? BIM represents that solid, established foundation they're building on, while AI represents the exciting, transformative frontier they're all moving toward. So, if there's one key takeaway from all this data, it has to be this. The era of digital skepticism in construction is officially over. The debate is no longer if the industry should adopt new tech, but how to use it in the most strategic and effective way possible. Ultimately, this whole transformation was never just about building faster or cheaper. It's about building smarter, safer, and way more sustainably. The industry is now armed with this incredible new digital toolkit. So the only question left is probably the most important one. What are they going to choose to build with it?